times real, that's why my name's Trill. Three times real, that's why my name's Trill.
Hey, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, shout out.
3 times real, that's why my name's Trill. Three times real, that's why my name's Trill.
Hey, put your hands up, come on, put your hands up, put your hands up, now I hop on the scene with some banging dope beats with a top notch.
The next topic we're going to discuss on Boxing Bros is, will Josh Taylor fight Terence Crawford next? And basically, not long after Josh Taylor beat Jose Ramirez, they started chirping about it on the broadcast. And prior to the fight even happening, Aaron brought up that it's possible that Terence Crawford could fight Jose Ramirez or Josh Taylor in the fall. So now that we know the undisputed champion at 140 is Josh Taylor, will we see Josh Taylor versus Terence Crawford next? We're going to turn it over to our expert on everything under really under 130, but because he likes little guys so much, Trill Dollar Bill.
Yes. Will Josh Taylor fight TC next? He's the little guy, right? He's the littler guy?
Yes.
TC's all over it. TC's all over it. Is a guy coming up? TC's all over it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I could see Bob making that fight, even though I don't want that fight. I want to see something that's going to give TC, you know what I'm saying? I want to, there's other things that Josh Taylor can do. Don't. TC, go fight Ugas. Fight a real welterweight. That's what I want to see. I don't want to see him fight another Gamboa. You know what I'm saying? Somebody. I don't want to see somebody coming up and weight. It's him fighting some little guy, or you know what I'm saying? Josh Taylor is good, but he's not a 147 pounder. He need to fight somebody else that want and get used to being at that weight. You know what I'm saying? You fighting TC, fight a real 147 pounder. Leave Josh Taylor alone. Let Josh Taylor go and enjoy himself being undisputed. Let him defend his undisputed crown. At least let him do that. You know, let him do that. You know, and won't you go fight a real welterweight? How about that, TC? Do me a favor. You know what I'm saying? You go fight Ugas and let Josh Taylor defend his undisputed crown at 140. If he wants to go after that to 140, fine. But you just grab that other belt, grab that WBA belt, so you can get the winner of TC and Spence, so you stop looking funny out here. So you get the winner of Pacquiao and Spence. So if you go get Ugas, that WBA belt from Ugas, then you can fight the winner of Pacquiao and Spence. Because it just looks weird. But now you're not going to fight another welterweight. You're going to fight a guy that's coming up. It looks weird. You know what I'm saying? I want TC. I want you to get the props you deserve. And you're not going to get it by fighting these little guys or these people that don't. It's not going to be competitive, or I don't know. Fight a real welterweight. That's all. I'm sorry. Just fight a real welterweight. I don't want to hear him fighting Josh Taylor. I want you to fight a real welterweight. You know what I'm saying? So you can get the props. You want the props so you can demand all the money that you want. So you can demand the 50-50. So they can't go behind your back and make other fights happen because you being unreasonable. I don't know.
All right. Makes sense. All right. Conspiracy G.
Yeah, I do see what Trill is saying, but it's tough because with Josh Taylor, what other options he has? He can make a big fight with Teofimo. That would be a good payday. But outside of that, there's really not that much money in the 140 division. So for Josh to get the big payday, he's going to have to move up and face TC. So, but I do agree, TC could face Ugas. But again, that's that, cross the street jargon. So this is the easiest fight to be made for TC and arguably the best name on his resume. So, Bob is going to set that up, man. So
I know. I feel you, G. 100%. I feel you. I just don't want to hear this across the street thing. They just made this fight with Tyson Fury and Deontay Wilder just like that.
That is true. No facts.
Just like that.
3 times. Right. Now, you know what? Yeah, you got that. You know, but I kind of feel like Josh Taylor, man, he just trying to, you know, prize fighting, man, go for the big bags. So the TC fight would be more lucrative for him. So why not take that chance, you know? And not to mention, Josh Taylor's like he's 5'10". You know what I mean? He's bigger than TC. Like TC's, I think 5'8" or 5'9" or something. You know what I mean? Like, so although Josh is at a lower weight, you know, I don't know what Josh's walk around weight is, you know, but I don't think people are gonna look at it like, TC bullying a young guy. You know what I mean? Like a smaller guy. So I think it'll be a good fight, an exciting fight. I like how both gentlemen box. So I think it'll be a good payday, man. And TC definitely needs the name. So Josh, you got options, man. You could go the Teofimo route or you could go the TC route. But either which way, you're gonna get paid. But outside of those 2 fights, man, it's gonna be tough for him to maintain that bread. And I think that's why these lower weight classes always go up, because they kind of forced to. If not the weight loss, they're going up because they got to get the big fights. They're chasing after the big paydays. So I'm not mad at these 2 gentlemen if they actually make that fight.
TBE.
All right. Should TC fight Josh Taylor next? Not will, but he should. Like, that's the fight he should be entertaining, because at this point, TC, we don't know who's your next opponent. You say you're going to fight Pacquiao. You trying to get a fight with Pacquiao. Pacquiao dissed you and went to go fight your opposition. You know, Errol Spencer's getting everything out here. I'm not going to say I'm Nostradamus or, TBE Stradamus when I said Spence got Pacquiao in his pocket, and now look at it now. It's here, but TC is looking bad for you right now. You need a fight. You need a good fight. You need a big fight, and this fight's not gonna be in position where it's gonna get the pay-per-view buys. It's gonna be a money grab. This might be a loss. Honestly, it might be a loss for you, TC. You might have to take a back seat in this fight just to get this fight. Just so the other fighter so you could get the name. Because Bob, hold on. Early, you showed the picture of him and Bob. Well, I want to know how recent was that picture, if it's a old or current. Because I don't know if you.
It's an older picture.
All right, so as of now, I think you and Bob are not speaking. You like that bridge is burnt. And after Pacquiao decided to fight Spence, it shows like I don't know what bridges you got left, but TC, you need something that's gonna make you stay relevant. And at this point, I don't know. But Josh Taylor, it's the fight that should happen. It needs to happen because you blew it with the Spence and you blew it with the Pacquiao fight. And that's all I gotta say.
So for me, will we see that fight next? I know it's what they're talking about. It didn't take long for them to start talking about it, but I'm with Trill Dollar Bill. He's on the money. You're going to ask Josh Taylor to move up in weight and immediately in the first fight Terence Crawford, right? The best pound for pound fighter in the world, but then at that weight class in his first fight. Does anyone remember Terence Crawford's first fight at welterweight was Jeff Horn. And that's how he got the title. Jeff Horn compared to Terence Crawford, that's going to be the first fight. So a lot of people are going to look at it like, okay, you made this guy move up in weight, and his first fight was supposed to be you, the so-called best fighter in the division. So how is that fair to Josh? So if you beat on Josh, we don't even know how good Josh is at welterweight, is what people are going to be saying. But there's a guy, Ugas, we know how good he is. We've seen he has some marquee wins, and he even in his defeat to Sean Porter, a lot of people scored it for him, like me. Ugas also beat Terence Crawford in the amateurs, so it can be some get back for him, right? That's a good fight, and he has a strap. So why not unify at 147? You were unifying at 140. The only difference between TC and 140 was he was undisputed because he was unifying. Here at 147, the man is not stepping in the ring with other champions. You can say what you want about Josh Taylor, but one thing he doesn't do is move up to 147 and continue to be undisputed. He's undisputed at 140. If he moves up to 147, you wipe the slate clean. It's like when all your stats in college, when you go to the pros, it don't matter. You wipe the slate clean. If you was on the mock trial team in law school and you were undefeated in law school on a mock trial team, it don't matter. Once you step in the real courtroom, nobody cares. What are you gonna do right now? So only thing that matters is what you do at 147, and Josh Taylor would be 0-0 at 147 by the time he's fighting Terence Crawford. Josh Taylor has better options than fighting Terence Crawford. I will tell you them. One is who G named, Teofimo Lopez, the undisputed champion at 135, who has fought better opposition, who has bigger names on his resume. He got Vasily Lomachenko, who was the former guy that they were saying was number one pound for pound, even over Terence Crawford. And Teofimo Lopez beat him. And he has a fight coming up. He wins that fight. Well, what do you know? Two current undisputed champions fighting each other at the same time. I think that will sell more than Terence Crawford at 147. So if I'm Josh Taylor, I'm really watching with vested interest in what happens with Teofimo Lopez and George Kambosos. Also, if you don't want to take that risk, fine. You don't have to, Josh Taylor. You know, there's a guy moving up to 140 right now. His name's Javante Tank Davis, okay? And he's fighting for one of the alphabet soup belts that you hold the real strap to, the WBA. So if he wins that fight, he could say he's acclimated at the weight, and now you can fight Tank Davis, a guy who's already fighting on pay-per-view, a guy who already shown, based on pay-per-view numbers, he has a bigger fan base than Terence Crawford.
Good point. I didn't even think about Tank, man. Yeah, that's a great point.
So, again, those are two options where I think you make more money and they're better names for you than Terence Crawford. But here's the problem, Josh Taylor, and it's not your problem. TC can't get himself a fight. TC can't get himself a fight because he thinks he's more valuable than he actually is. Again, like I was telling everyone who were coming at me, calling me a hater again, I don't need hashtag Caden was right. I don't need it, but leverage. Negotiations is all about leverage. What is your best option? Okay, so if this doesn't happen, what are you going to do? Manny Pacquiao knew when negotiating with Terence Crawford, because he put all his business out in the street, you're not going to get the Spence fight because you already voiced it. Oh, the fight's never going to happen. Even if he gives me 50-50, it's never going to happen. So Pacquiao has no worries that you're going to go elsewhere. In fact, he knows he could go elsewhere if he wanted to because you ain't going to go there. All you did was handicap yourself. So everyone who's mad at Bob Arum saying Bob Arum has to promote him better know TC need to shut up and let Bob work. Think about it. TC's Twitter ruined his chances of getting a fight with Spence, ruined his chances of getting a fight with Pacquiao. He really needed that fight with Pacquiao because that was his only chance at having an argument for 50-50 with Spence. Now that argument is dead and buried. Spence beats Manny Pacquiao 70-30 is a real thing. Bet you wish you took that 60-40. You see what I'm saying? This is what business is all about. Like, it's cool, all that ego stuff, all the chat room stuff, but in the end, there are people who are paid to look at contracts, and there are people who get paid for critical thinking for a reason. You understand? Like, all that talking is cool. TC Teller shoots you in the foot. Now, once again, you need Bob Arum to manufacture an opponent for you. And if I'm Bob Arum, I'm thinking, why, when TC's contract is about to expire, why would I take a short to help TC's career when I don't even know if he's going to re-sign with me? Why would I ruin Josh Taylor? Why would I not keep Josh Taylor, put him in there with Lopez. The winner of that's even a bigger star for me. Right? Or if I want to take a risk, why wouldn't I take a risk with Tank? Go ahead, bro. I see you got.
No. I was gonna say, he can go in there with Zepeda. The guy, he can, because Zepeda was talking about fighting the winner of Ramirez and Taylor last night. So he can just have him in a showcase fight again to have him, fight Zepeda over in Scotland because they want to come out there and celebrate the new undisputed champion. Josh Taylor has options.
Whatever he wants to do. Hell, talk Ryan Garcia into coming. There's so many, bro. Look, he don't gotta fight TC, and there lies the problem with TC. Overestimating your value, talking in the media. This is why negotiation is quiet, and I'll just leave it here. Imagine TC never said a word. Imagine TC said, yeah, I'm fielding offers from Spence. I'm fielding these offers. I'm going to do what's best for my career. And, Bob has my best interest in mind. Bob could have finagled something. Because, see, it's a lot difficult for Manny Pacquiao to turn his back on you when he's worried that you might go to Spence. It's a lot harder for Spence to turn his back on you when he's worried that you might get to fight with Pacquiao. When you announce publicly that you're trying to fight Pacquiao and it dies publicly, no one's worried. When you announce publicly, you won't. They know it too, and it hurts you in negotiations. Is what I've been saying to you, bro. So hopefully you're gonna stop talking on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? Everybody want to say what they want to say about me, but in the end, you're gonna get this mama's cookie.
Mm-hmm. Let us know how you feel in the comment section. Please like and subscribe, and check us out on Instagram and Twitter. And please check out our podcast on all major streaming services. We are the Boxing Bros.
You're welcome.